Okay guys, so I'm here to read chapter 6 of Diamond in the Rough by Darkshot Bro. It's called Fragments, and as if you saw my newest video, I'm very tired because I ate a lot. So, if I'm not funny, I'm sorry. I'm tired. But I have the ability to read, so at least I can do that, so let's get started. After I took Black Flag and his crew down a notch, no pony really bothered neither Silver Spoon nor me anymore. I knew they realized there was no point in trying to bring us down, because we were better than them. We were better than most, if not all, the ponies that attended our school. That thought process gave me an extra motivation to excel in my academics, so I managed to finish the first semester with all A's. I noticed my memory was improving. Somewhat. My ego, if it were, was boosted right after the first semester, especially after Silver Spoon shouted, "Wow, Diamond, you've gotten so much better at school." In response, I simply raised my head and said, "I know. I can best any pony in this school in anything." The sparkles reappeared in Spoon's eyes, and you could tell that she was impressed by my confidence. As I was walking back home, the thought that stood out in my mind was, "See that, Mom? Your little diamond tiara is much more awesome than you think. I'll make you proud whether you like it or not." During the second semester, my confidence was brimming. I felt no need to make any other friends, since Silver Spoon had stood by me for so long. As a result, no pony besides her really talked with me during that semester. Unfortunately, disaster struck again with my bickering parents. During the middle of my second semester, my dad assured me that my tiara was very eloquent, a statement that held more weight than I believed. Excuse me. Afterwards, on that very day, I was walking down the hallway when I heard a phone ringing. Excuse me. So I decided to eavesdrop. That was a bad idea. Dad started out the conversation by quickly saying, "Look, Diamond has been having behavioral problems lately, and I want to know why, Glamour. Now." I should have realized that would end in disaster when I discovered my mom was on the other end, but I didn't. Anyway, I didn't hear what my mom said in response to Dad, but I assumed it related to calling my tiara tacky. Considering that I, in a fit of rage, forgot to tell Dad what Mom said about the tiara, and he never consulted Mom about it, his reaction was quite vulgar. He yelled, "You said what? Diamond was trying to make you a gift. She even has a cutie mark for making jewelry." I assumed she continued with the argument. "Oh dear, there's no way I'll wear a giant tiara in public because my useless daughter made it." Because my dad continued ranting. "Diamond could be a business pro right now. She's getting much better at leading, and you want to destroy that progress because of your own goddamn high standards? Fuck you." And he threw the phone down, enraged, and all I ever minded of the phone was a pile of gears and junk. But there was really one strange thing about the conversation. Before it ended, I heard a loud sigh coming from the other side of the phone. I initially dismissed this, but thinking back, perhaps that sigh came from my mother. Anyway, I quickly rushed back to my room before Dad walked out of his, and it seemed like I was just causing grief for both of them. Still possessing a vengeful spirit, I vowed that I would go to extra lengths to prove to my parents that I was the best pony in my school. I would make certain that I would stand up from the crowd, make myself look good, and make them look bad. A few days later, I found the opportunity handed to me on a silver platter. Or spoon. I always forgot how that saying went. Anyway, I saw this Pegasus with beige skin, a long brown mane, and the thinnest bones I've ever seen. My target was locked. I went up to him and shouted, "Hey, Skinny, ever considered eating something?" Pathetic. I bet you can't even speak one sentence without stuttering, you weakling." He began to cry. "Why are you being so mean to me?" I knew I had broken him, so I went in for the kill. "Because I'm better than you. Now get lost." Sure enough, he ran away making these stupid whimpering noises, and I simply laughed in triumph. I had broken him in only 3 sentences. This was easy. All I have to do is keep up my academics and my attitude, and I'd be set for life. Afterwards, Silver Spoon asked, Diamond, don't you think you're being a little bit harsh?" "Absolutely not. He, just stood there. I haven't seen him before, and I want to make sure he knows who the boss around here is." "If you say so, Diamond. Let's get to class." "Right behind you, Spoon." After class, I relished in how good it felt to be able to break some pony, to make sure they knew how awesome and special I was. I knew my mom might not have thought I'm the greatest, but I thought that if I could make sure the ponies know, then I'd be set for life. To add, throughout most of my second semester, my dad was extra busy, and he didn't seem to have time to talk with me. I was fine with that, because I knew that I could have extra time to prove to my mom that I'm not only great at making diamond tiaras. I also used most of my free time to practice my saxophone. Thanks to hoof surgery, I was at the point where many adult ponies dreamed of getting towards, and Mr. Blues was very impressed with me. It seemed as if some of Ponyville was beginning to see what I saw, but I knew I still had a ways to go. There were absolutely no plays, nor musical events at my school, so I could only prove I was the best for my academics. Silver Spoon did mostly score better than me in almost all the tests, but I knew I was still doing a great job, and for what I could tell, so did my classmates. The second semester ended, again with all A's for both me and Spoon. After we congratulated each other, I walked home to give Dad a request. Fortunately, I actually saw him that day, not busy, so I gave my request. "Dad, could you send this report card to Mom?" I asked. "I'm not sure, Diamond. I'm very busy, so—" "Time to use the diamond eyes." "Please, Dad, I just wanted to show Mom my accomplishments in school." He sighed. "I'll try, okay, Diamond?" "Yay, thank you." And with a hug I left. Unfortunately, during the middle of my first day of the next summer, Dad came back with bad news. "Your mom has rejected your report card," he said somberly. "What? Did she say why?" "I tried calling her, but it didn't work. Sorry, Diamond." "That sucks!" I yelled while trudging back to my room. I managed to hear Dad sighing loudly before I slammed the door shut. I couldn't believe it. What the heck did I have to do to impress that staunch perfectionist? Did I have to cure pony cancer? Did I have to make more cash in the business than Dad? I was hopelessly lost, so I did the only thing I could think of. "Hello, Mom?" "Oh, dear, please don't tell me this is who I think it is." "It is. What the heck do I have to do to impress you?" "Listen to me very closely. Mares cannot take over large businesses in Ponyville that are run by stallions, so since you can't go anywhere in life, there's no point in trying to support you. Goodbye." I couldn't believe my ears. My own mom gave up on me. She said I was useless. I was never the type of pony who cries, but even I felt my heart sink deep into my stomach and saw it right in front of me. I was crushed, both physically and emotionally. I didn't feel like I could deal with this myself. So once I stopped crying, I told Dad exactly what happened. "I can't believe her. Damn it. Diamond, I'm gonna go give her a piece of my mind." "No, Dad, please. I don't want you two to argue anymore." "She isn't going to get away for what she did to you." And those were the last words I heard before the door slammed. I literally felt my heart tearing apart in front of me, and even a class with Miss Rhythm couldn't get this negative energy out of my soul. When I got back home, my sadness turned into a complete rage. They hate me. They loathe me. They don't think I'm special. I must be a failure, right? No hoofing way. If I can't get them to love me, then I'll show every pony that I'm the most special. I made up my mind, I screamed, punching my pillow until it turned into cotton fluff. For the rest of the summer, my vengeance grew until I was finally able to unleash it during school. Sure enough, when I got back, an opportunity fell right into my hooves. A pony with a pink bow, a red mane, and a really dull yellow body went up to me and said, with a strong southern accent, "Howdy, I'm Apple Bloom." "Apple Bloom? Good gravy, you must be poorer than dirt, because there's so much in your mane." "What are y'all talking about? My sister Applejack brushed my mane before I came to school." "Newsflash, y'all and my aren't real words, you bumpkin." "Why y'all being so mean to me? It's my first day." "Actually, I have two reasons. One, I'm the best pony in this school. I want you to make sure that you have that engraved in your feeble little mind. And two, I'm almost certain you remember the Apple family." "Why is that a problem?" How in Celestia how in Celestia can your poor flanks get so much popularity in Ponyville? Our barnyard bargain lines are diminishing because of your stupid existence." "Wait a sec. You're rich? I'm the one and only Diamond Tiara. Diamond Tiara rich, you diminutive little piece of dirt. Have some respect for your superiors." "Bye, bumpkin," I said while laughing haughtily. My teacher for 4th grade was a relatively young mare named Mrs. Chalk, who had a white body and a dark gray mane, and fortunately, she was a very good one. I was almost afraid to raise my hand after my tenure with Mrs. Lemon. But about one week later, when no pony knew the answer to a fairly difficult math question, I put my hoof up, gave the correct answer, and all was right with the world. One of my favorite parts about 4th grade was the option to take a chorus class, where the object would be to sing, and eventually perform in a group. But what really drew my attention to the class was the opportunity to get solos, so I signed up in a heartbeat. When I entered the room for the first time, I was absolutely shocked to see who the teacher was. "Miss Rhythm? Is that you?" "Diamond Tiara! I didn't know you went to this school. It's great to see you." "Same here. I can't wait to get better at singing. Thanks for all the lessons. I know I'll rise to glory here." "Wonderful! Now could you please take a seat here?" I convulsed. This was next to that bumpkin. Not meaning to be rude, I said,
Could I sit next to Silver Spoon? We've been best friends since kindergarten. I don't see why not. Go right ahead, T. Diamond. Yay! Thank you, Miss Rhythm. Sure enough, Silver Spoon was there, and the first few classes, while a tad boring, went very well. I felt at home with a class led by Mrs. Rhythm, because we had great chemistry. Even when I was in a bad mood, a simple chorus class could cheer me up a little. As for that bumpkin, I discovered that she was rather dumb. I never heard her answer any of the questions either Mrs. Chalk nor Miss Rhythm asked, and Silver Spoon told me that she did relatively poorly on tests, so I knew that my next goal was going to be destroying her self-esteem. No country bumpkin was going to beat me in anything. The time I struck was during lunch, when she was literally eating nothing but apples. I said, "Oh my God, you want some apples with those apples, Mrs. Bumpkin?" "My name is Apple Bloom." "Really? I'm surprised you even remember your name, after how poorly you've been doing in class." "I'm doing my best, and I'm sure you ain't. As a matter of fact, what are you, too shy to say anything in class? Do you fear that little old pink me's gonna judge you, huh?" "Don't give me that." Looking at her flank, I changed targets. "Yeah, well, at least I have an awesome cutie mark. Where's yours?" "Oh, right, you don't have one." She flinched. Your cutie mark ain't so awesome. I can make jewelry in a cinch. I made this tiara in 1 hour. You can't even change your diet or your way of approaching school." "Later, blank flank," I said before walking away. Looking back, she was crying. I got her in the palm of my hoof. I had made sure that even the family who stole our profits knew that I was the best. And it felt so good.
Next chapter, Diamond Tiara continues to bully Apple Bloom throughout the 4th grade and into the 5th grade. Diamond also tries to get on the school stage before even getting to 5th grade. Once there, all the cannon ponies like Sweetie Belle and Cheerly will be introduced. Will Diamond ever stop taunting Apple Bloom? And will there be any canon events? Find out next time on the Super Friends. Just kidding. I love doing this voice. I love this story. The first couple chapters I did months ago, before I really got into my fanfiction groove, it was kind of a little bit boring. Not the story, but my readings I felt were boring, and now I'm very I like the reading. I like the reading I'm doing. I like the readings I'm doing with this story. I meant to say. God, it came out so jumbled up. But I like I love Diamond Tiara's voice, and I love doing it, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job. So I don't know what else to read, but I'll read something else. I don't want to read more letters from a disgruntled friendship student. I just want to read something else. I don't know what though, but I'll find out, so stay tuned.